Hello everyone, welcome to On the Beat. Trevor and I are here inside First Niagara Center in Buffalo as Syracuse gets set to take on Dayton in the third round of the NCAA tournament. Syracuse had a big win against Western Michigan in the opening round. Dayton took a late shot to beat Ohio State, coming in with some momentum. We've had a chance to talk to some of the Flyers players and coaches over the past couple of days. What's the biggest thing that stood out to you?
I think the main thing that stands out for me is the depth. Dayton is a team that really doesn't have a star player like some of the other teams in the tournament do, like Doug McDermott, Russ Smith, players like that. They don't have a player of that caliber, but they have a lot of players who can beat usually an 8, 9, even 10-man rotation. I talked to Mike Hopkins, and he said that Dayton's really, really deep, and they have a lot of guys who are fresh off the bench, so that's going to be a problem for Syracuse, and they have to counteract that.
Yeah, Hop compared them to Pitt, a team that obviously has given Syracuse trouble in the past. A lot of that, though, has to do with Jamie Dixon. But he talked about they even get stronger sometimes when they go to the bench.
Yep.
B. Sanford, who had the game-winning shot for Dayton in that second-round matchup, comes off the bench with them. He was a starter early in the year, but he's found his place for them coming off the bench. Syracuse, though, it seems like if they play offense the way they did against Western Michigan,
Yep.
it's going to be tough to beat them in this tournament, I feel like.
I think so, too. I mean, Trevor Cooney obviously caught fire, which is key for Syracuse. We can do that again. Very tough to beat Syracuse. And even if he's solid, he doesn't need to be great, just can't miss a lot of shots. They're really tough to beat. I think Tyler Ennis will have another big night tonight. Dayton doesn't really have a great point guard. Solid one, but not a great one. I think he'll exploit them.
Syracuse, another win would get them back to the round of 16. They got there last year. What do you expect today?
I think Syracuse is a close one. I think Dayton will hang there. Really a tough team to beat by a lot because they're so deep, like I said. But I think Syracuse pulls the one out by about 5 or 6 and advances to play Kansas or Stanford.
Yeah, I think the fact that Syracuse had a relatively easy first-round game helps them, especially going up against a team with a lot of depth. They'll be a little bit more rested.
Yep.
You know, CJ didn't have to play at the end of the game, whereas he usually has to play 40 minutes in every game. So I think Syracuse wins. Not a huge blowout, but I think it'll be a little bit bigger than you expect. All right, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow all of our content on Twitter @DOSports or check online at dailyorange.com/sports.